I'm pleased to adopt the protocols already established. In the interest of time, I would like to bring you greetings from Miku South and to tell you that Comrade Vivo is always good at setting me up, but this time it's a good cause. It is so good to be in Castries East. That is the area where I was raised. And when Karen told me I must come to the meeting today, I said, well, if I get a ride, I'll come. And so Vivo graciously brought me here today. I'd like to say to you that you have, as your district representative, one of the most committed politicians St. Lucia ever. A man of great passion, a man of great love for people, and a man who is true to his word, and his loyalty to this party is as good as any spirit of loyalty you could ever wish from any man. So I'd like to say to you that it is not by accident that he's Prime Minister of St. Lucia. He waited and waited and prayed, and the Lord answered his prayers. And this constituency has been loyal to him for over 30 years. And I hope you continue to support him, and I hope you continue to support the Labour Party to make sure that no other party will rule St. Lucia for the foreseeable future. Thank you very much, Prime Minister.
We also call on Brother Claude Paul from Castries South to give some solidarity.
Thank you, Madam Mistress of Ceremonies. Yes, I bring greetings from the constituency of Castries South, and to, of course, first of all, recognize our Honorable Prime Minister and members of the head table, all our cabinet colleagues, etc. And to say that our district representative, our parliamentary representative, Dr. Ernest Hiller, unfortunately is out of the island at this time, and so I apologize for his absence, but of course he's doing national duty, so he cannot be here. Let me congratulate the East Castries for the 45th annual general meeting. Not many constituencies in St. Lucia can boast of such an excellent record, unbroken, unblemished record. Every year having an annual general meeting, and I want to congratulate them for that. Please give them a round of applause. Of course, Castries South is a good neighbor, and we continue to support East Castries in all its activities. And so the chair said we must keep it short. So thank you very much on behalf of South Castries, and I wish you the best. Thank you.
I would also like to express greetings from Brother Gregor Ford in London. He sent a message wishing Castries East the very best. At this time, we call on Brother Gideon Ferdinand to give some fraternal greetings.
Political leader, and I would like, apart from that, to adopt the protocol. Every time I come to Castries East, I remember what happened when the political leader ran his first election against the late Lance Poe, and what has happened since. And that keeps me inspired, you know, because sometimes you have to just wait and work, and that is what is happening. I just want to commend Castries East for being a symbol of inspiration, a symbol of strength for the Labour Party. You are the reason why we have a champion as the Honourable Prime Minister as our leader. And something I've learned from him, you can't be a Prime Minister if you're winning no seat. So the reason he's Prime Minister is because he's winning and because you keep voting for him. So I want to thank you for that. I want to thank you for the support that you've given to all the other constituencies. And the way when I observe how you do your business, there's a reason why he's a 6-star general, because you're doing certain things right. I want to thank Brother Elias, who is with me today, and for the support that he continues to give. And all the other comrades who continue to give support to the newer candidates. They, sometimes we refer to them as old men, but they're very wise and they have a lot to teach us. So I encourage you to do so, and I wish the rest of us who are new to this business all the best as we continue to learn from our senior men and our veterans in this business. Thank you again, and all the best in your future.
Help me welcome our beautiful sister and Senator Alison John to the mic.
Good afternoon, political leader, Prime Minister, members of Parliament, President of the Senate, Speaker of the House, comrades, members of the Castries East constituency. I bring you greetings. In fact, when I come to Castries East, I feel at home, because to borrow a phrase from Derek Walcott, but to paraphrase him, moi c'est Jean Marchand, c'est ici moi sorti, is here I born. So every time I come to Castries East, I don't think anybody can touch me. I sat this afternoon and just the few reports that have been presented tells me something about Castries East and helped me understand why we have a 6-star general in Castries East. His structure with the various auxiliary groups as well as the constituency group really shows that he has a very supportive team. And I want to encourage you members, support your political leader, support your parliamentary rep for Castries East. He's a man who I've worked with very closely, a man of integrity that I can attest to, a man who has never asked me to do anything wrong, and a man who always says to me, P.S., if I ask you to do anything wrong, quote me the law. And so we look at him and we see him as a man of humility, a man of the people, but deep down inside, there is more to it. And I can assure you, in the next few years, you will not hear of any corruption coming from him, like we have seen over the 5 years from 2016 to 2021. You will not hear of any scandal. You will not hear of any bacchanal under the leadership of Honorable Philip J. Pierre. I can attest to it, and I'm sure many of you who have been with him can say the same of him. So like the sister said, St. Lucia is stronger with Labour. St. Lucia is better with Labour. Let us keep with Labour. Thank you.
Also help me welcome to the mic, Ambassador Dubois. A round of applause, please.
Thanks, Mistress of Ceremonies. I beg that you allow me to adopt the protocol that has been established. Further, I wish to recognize our dear political leader, a champion of champions, our esteemed guest speaker, our chairperson of Castries East, executive members of the party, My brothers and sisters, comrades, said, I bring you greetings from the People's Republic, and I wish you well. What can I tell you about this great man that you have not already heard? Not much. But I dare say that St. Lucia needs him. Castries is to ensure that he returns to power, because we need him in this government. Larry, we're here to learn. We too want a 6-star general. So we're here to learn from you to ensure that our general can become a 6-star general. I thank you.
I now call on Ambassador Peter Lexico to the
The first thing somebody told me is, be short and be brief. You shall one way. The protocol has been established, but let me recognize the 6-star general, the guest speaker, other members of the head table, all my brothers and sisters and comrades. I will be very brief as I have been warned. I want to say something to us. I know this happens a lot in the literature. Many persons, for some reason, when they write, they tend to refer to the comrade political leader as a 5-star general. My brothers and sisters, having to remind people of that too much. My brothers and sisters, I want to tell you that the greatest joy of my life is being a member of the St. Lucia Labour Party. That's the greatest joy of my life. Every day when I wake up, my inspiration is knowing that I'm going to write something, I'm going to say something positive about the St. Lucia Labour Party. And the inspiration I get has a lot to do with Castries East. By the way, for those who do not know, I'm a member of Castries East officially. A lot of people didn't know that. So if I had become the candidate in the last elections, I would not have been voting for myself. That might seem like a contradiction, but it really is not. Because the important thing is supporting your party. So brothers and sisters, let's have a great AGM this afternoon, and I thank you, Madam Chair.
I now call on Honorable Virginia Hoyer to the mic.
Political leader, good afternoon. Our guest speaker, good afternoon. My fellow cabinet colleagues and members of parliament, senators, special invited guests, members of Castries East, good afternoon. And to keep with the rhythm of being brief, the theme for this conference is Onward Together. We continue to put you first. This is a very timely theme which the guest speaker will elaborate on. And I want to remind you that this theme links to what I consider on the phrase, a chain is as strong as its weakest link. And that is why we move onward together, because the opposition is looking for the weakest link, and we do not have a weak link. All of us are strong, and that is why we move onward together. And I know the Prime Minister is quite pleased to see his army here with him, both in constituency, in his cabinet, and in his parliament. And what I admire about my Prime Minister is his leadership style. And it is the leadership style of the geese, where when the geese are in flight to the final destination, they look for the weakest one, and the leader will put his wing under the wing of the weakest one to help it until they reach the final destination. And the Prime Minister will look among us and see who is the weakest one, and he will go out there and put his wings under that person and make sure we stay with the flock. So all of us will fly to the final destination, and that is keeping our eyes on the prize, and we are putting everyone first. I thank you, congratulations, and let's move on with a very successful annual general meeting.
We now call on Honorable Moses Jabatis.
Thank you very much. Good afternoon, my brothers and sisters. Bonjour tout Prime Minister, political leader, and comrade Philippe J. Pierre, our esteemed guest speaker, Deputy Speaker, and Member of Parliament for Miku North, Brother Jeremiah Noble, Chairman of the Constituency Group, and all members of the executive of the Castries East Constituency Group. We have the Speaker, the President of the Senate, parliamentary colleagues, former Prime Minister, and ambassadors, Very, 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 very brief. I want to congratulate the Castries East Constituency Group on hosting your 35th annual general meeting. Let me tell you that Brother Sean always reminds me that Comrade Philip J. Pierre is not just an ordinary six-star general, but he has a lot of lessons, a lot of batting lessons, football skills to teach all of us. I don't know if he's Manu or... But I just want to say to you that my admiration for your parliamentary representative and Prime Minister and our political leader is no secret. Many, many years ago, I predicted on the market steps that Honorable Philip J. Pierre would be the first political leader outside of the Castries Basin. First political leader from the Castries Basin to win a general election since independence. And here we have it. I want you from Castries East to give our political leader, Prime Minister, a round of applause. And I want you to help St. Lucia to keep him going and going and going and going and going. Thank you very much. Have a good day.
We now call on Honorable Richard Frederick.
Myself and I someone on the same flight out of Miami. Landed just about 2.5 hours ago. Good afternoon, everybody. Philip J. Pierre is all right. They say wise people come from the East. I never realized the East had such a wise man. You ain't need a wise man. You know, I've said this quickly, folks. They call it brief. When they said short and brief, short and sweet, parents say, Richard, if it's short, it can be sweet. If it's sweet, it can be short. I don't know what they were talking about. But obviously, speaking from experience. So, good afternoon, everybody. My political leader, everybody, and Prime Minister, everybody. I want to say this very quickly. When I was in the cabinet with Stevenson King, I'm drawing on that, and I'm juxtaposing it to Philip J. Pierre being our Prime Minister now. There was a lot of doubts about Stevenson King. The doubts went far and beyond until Spider formed his cabinet even while Stevenson King was Prime Minister. This is a fact because they felt they had no confidence in him. But I'll tell you this, under Stevenson King, our level of perception of being free from corruption rose the highest when UWP was ever in office. Under Stevenson King. And guess what? When the Labour Party came in 2011, they continued it. And in 2016, we moved from 71 to 58. and they left it at 40-something%, being the most corrupt government ever in the history of St. Lucia between 2016 and 2021. And it is the same way. I use this as an example. A lot of people in this country had the apprehension about this man leading the country. A lot of people did not believe in him. But I'll tell you what, God chose him and chose him for a right reason. That is to bring relief to the people of this country. And so folks, just coco qui take away. Just coco qui carry away. Because what he has done in just over 2 years, it has to take one hell of a politician, a man with mind, a man who cares, a man who understands the plight of the people to take us from where we were to where we are now. Give them to you know, and so all of those doubting tongues can put their doubt to rest. Because in his first year, he grew the economy by 15%. In his second year, he grew it by 18%. Tout ça vous a fait, you te have plan me avant, you do to. And they are taking credit for all the magnificent policies that he has maneuvered over and saying it was their plan. Tout ça vous fait, you te have me an idée. Everything, when right now I hear talking about crime, and Shasta is asking us, what about crime? But you only be brief, so I have to be brief. I have to be brief. And I'll tell you all this, the day St. Lucia, and I say it with all sincerity, coming from deep down the echelons of my heart, that the day St. Lucia loses Philip Joseph Pierre as Prime Minister is a day we will regret. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Special thank you to all our fraternal Christians. At this time, we'll ask that you. My apologies. We have one more speaker. I almost bypassed. We now call on Honorable Sean Edwards.
Good afternoon, everybody. Permit me to acknowledge the protocol that has already been established, but I must, like the speakers before me, acknowledge the presence of our political leader and the Prime Minister. But Nikolai spoke earlier, he said he noticed parliamentarians were copying and taking notes. And he's correct, but what he does not know is that we were not noting the things that he was saying. But we are always in note-taking mode when we are in Castries East. Because you have employed a formula on 6 different occasions at the polls that have worked. And I have copied it, and I have applied it in Denver North, and it is yielding the kind of results that we want. And so I implore my colleagues to do likewise. I must also acknowledge the presence of a man who's way in the back. And I've never seen him in a red shirt, but today he has chosen to wear green. I speak of none other than my very good friend, Mr. Alfred Emmanuel, a soldier of the Labour Party. And tonight I don't have the time to tell you Alfred's story and how I've come to understand politics and how you can be principled about your politics and you can always let your conviction move you in the politics. Alfred Emmanuel is a very close friend of an individual who contested elections in Castries East. And for many, many years, decades, they've worked together on the national sporting landscape. And then I was thinking, as an observer on the sidelines, that perhaps friendship can sway him and cause him to support a particular individual until I met him in the city of Castries and I asked, my brother, what is the decision? And the typical Alfred style is said to be you. He predicted all of the seats that we won. and from that day on, I began having even more respect for him than I would have had previously. Tonight, I just want to congratulate Castries East for being the example that all other constituencies must emulate. And the political leader, before he was leader, always said that without winning your seat, the politics will be challenging. And the most important thing to do is to win your seat. And he makes the point repeatedly that this is a team sport. So that even if one man wins by 2,000 in a particular constituency, and another member loses by 1 vote, chances are we may not form government. And today, I just want to encourage us to stick together. And Sister Emma spoke to it earlier. Let us support each other. Yes, we are enjoying the reins of government right now, but we should never make the mistake and believe that the United Workers' Party, they are asleep and they are not minding their business. They are plotting. They are looking to undermine. They are going to spread propaganda and falsehood all across the country in an attempt to destabilize. We have performed better than any administration would have in 2 years in the history of this country. And we have to continue. So today, I am extremely grateful to be part of a team, to be part of a lineup, to be part of a cabinet that is so expertly led by the Honorable Philip J. Pierre. Philip J. Pierre will not ask you to do anything in the line of duty that he is not prepared to do himself. There are some leaders in other facets of life. They will send their troops forward and ask you to do X, Y, Z, but they never prepare to do it themselves. Our leader leads from the front. And I can tell you that the 3 elections I've contested, I've been fortunate to be on the ticket on every of the 3 occasions with him, and I have enjoyed winning my seat alongside him winning his. And who knows, maybe when the next election is called, I am not privy to what is discussed at Castries East, but I heard Shauna say earlier, elections are not far. I don't know if she was speaking on her own volition, or what she said was a reflection of discussions that you are privy to that we don't know about. But on a serious note, I just want to congratulate Castries East for being that formidable force of labor you have been, and may you continue to shine as a bright light for the Labour Party, not just in the basin, but throughout St. Lucia. Long live the people of Castries East. Long live the Honourable Philip J. Pierre.
Thank you, Honorable Edward. At this time, we ask that you sit back, relax, and enjoy our gospel entertainer, Brother Johnson Charles. Take it up.
Good afternoon to the Castries East people. Good afternoon to my Labour family. Good afternoon, Labour family. Let me tell you, it's always a pleasure to be back in Castries East. The last time I stood here with a mic singing, it was at the first anniversary of CO. And that's a couple of years ago. How many years now CO celebrating, Sister Vida? 6 years. So I'm part of Castries East. I've always been here celebrating the first year and the second year anniversary. So my family is here in Castries East as well. So it's a pleasure to celebrate with you and to sing for you, because it's always say good evening to you, PM. And you know, I just want to just say a little short message. I heard PM said we have to, and one of the ways we have to support the victory, we have to continue to support constituency group. When we see constituency group having their activities, I would love to see chairpersons and constituencies go out to support every single constituency, because that's what we used to do while we were in the position. So I want to continue to encourage every constituency chairpersons, constituency having their activity, fundraising activities. You can hire a bus, take a bus and go out to participate in the fundraising activity every constituency group will be having. So in saying this, my responsibility is not to speak, is to sing. So at this present moment, I will ask DJ to play number 1. So I will continue where my sister Alvina left off. You will praise to God because He has been good to us. He protected us throughout the COVID. And we are here. We won the election. So we gotta give Him praise. Praise your name, Lord. Yeah. You alone are worthy. Lord, you are worthy of my praise. You alone are worthy. Lord, you are worthy of my praise. You reign. You are worthy of my praise. For you reign on high. Lord, you are worthy of my praise. Precious Jesus. You alone are worthy. Lord, you are worthy of my praise. You alone are worthy. Lord, you are worthy of my praise. For you reign on high. Lord, you are worthy of. Okay, DJ. Sister Avina sang earlier. She sang a song earlier. Now I'm gonna remix that song. She gave you the English version. I'm gonna remix it. You ready for the remix? Are you ready for the remix? DJ number 2. Are you ready for the song? So everybody sing with me. Let's go. That's what it is. Hey! Glory to God. I love you, Lord. So join me. Let's sing it. I love you, Lord. I want to rest in the faith. All my days, I've been waiting in your hands. The way that I wait in a place, there is nothing to go over to it. Every step of my life, what do you do? You know you love for every long way. Now I want to lift up your hands and say, Lord, Lord. Oh, you look good today. Every step of my life, what do you do? Now I want to lift up your long way. Now I want to lift up your hands and say, Lord, Father, you look good today. You look good. Living on the surface is not easy, but you already say you will never leave me. You will. You know, I hope you get to know. If Jesus is with you, not to God. You can see that you come to there. Let me know. If God has been good to you, let me see what you're doing there. Let's go. The Father is passing my way. But Jesus came into my life and He made me free. I want to come as the enemy. I should have been in that door. The reason I'm here to go on as an encourager. Every step of my life, I teach me that step. Teach me that step. Teach me that step. What's the future? Teach. I want to pray this one. And everyone of us from the end of the constituency to request this one. So let's go. What does it say? Mighty God, holy and ready. Faithful God, you are worthy to receive all the praise. For you alone, you're the air that I breathe. You're the song that I sing. You're the love of my soul. With you, there is nothing else to give yourself. With you, reliable. Everything I can do, what no one can do. Unchangeable, reliable. Only you can do what no one can do. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. Oh, there's nothing impossible to you. You can say to everyone, no one can deny the greatness in your heart. Let me just wonder what the Lord you done. I can see you everywhere, touching everyone, removing every pain. There's nothing, absolutely nothing. Hey, there's nothing impossible to you. Yeah, Lord, just a little. I just want to be sure. I'm sure. So my father, don't you just as a rose. Let's go to the place. Holy look and look. I'm a sure. Everyone just a rose. Reliable. Only you can do what no man can do. Oh, just a rose. Reliable. Only you can do.
A round of applause from Brother Joshua. At this time, we call on Sister Katoya Motley to do the introduction of the guest speaker. A round of applause for the sister, please.
Good evening, everybody. Jeremiah Norbert is the first child of American Norbert. He was born and raised in the community of La Porte Monrepo. He attended the Passios Combined School, followed by the Fifon Secondary School, and then went on to attend the Sir Arthur Lewis Community College, where he studied business management, economics, and sociology.
He is currently finishing up a degree in political science with the University of the West Indies. He started his professional career in 2010, where he served his people and his country for 10 years as a police detective. He graduated as best recruit and worked at the Drug Unit and Criminal Investigations Department during his tenure as a police detective. On the 30th day of October 2020, he submitted his resignation letter and accepted his nomination as the Senusha Labour Party candidate for Miko North. He entered the race and showed resilience and commitment to the cause. Despite facing tragedy along the journey, he was able to defend the UWP of the Crown Jewel and bring the Miko North seat to Union. He was sworn in as Deputy Speaker of the House of Assembly in St. Lucia and has taken on his role with utmost pride and professionalism. Today, he stands as the only member of St. Lucia Labour Party to have been parliamentary representative of the North. I present to you our guest speaker, Honorable Jeremiah.
Good afternoon, Castries. Let Jeremiah will be Milton, so good afternoon. Let me recognize the presence of the Prime Minister, a great man, other parliamentary colleagues, Mr. Francis Regis, Chairman of the Castries Executive. I see we have in our presence, and I must mention Brother Gordon Lewis, Comrade Gordon Lewis, Brother Pell, all other invited members, my Mr. Speaker, and Madam President, persons from Castries. Good afternoon to, or good evening to
And today marks a very important day, and the occasion for which we are here cannot be trivialized. This is the platform,
the basis, the secret to our win elections, the way we set up for our conferences, the things which the constituency executive does and undertake will have a big impact on what happens when elections come. And I say that and I'm reminded of a continuous refrain of the Prime Minister. Every opportunity which presents itself, he tells us, a cabinet, at informal meetings, he reminds us, he says it could be 2 members, it could be 3 members and a dog outside, but you should try to always have your monthly executive meeting. And it is not by chance that he is a 6-star general, because he continued to apply that knowledge and the experience which he has gained over the years into the politics of today. Today, the executive have chosen a very timely theme, onward together, always putting you first. I say timely because we are at a very critical juncture in this political term. We are at midterm. We are at the make or break stage. We are at a stage where people will no longer accept excuses from us. The honeymoon is over, comrades. And for this reason, more than ever, I want to spend just a few minutes to focus on why unity and collaboration is so important, and why is it that we cannot afford to be divided and segregated at this time. Our party, our government, your party, your government, your prime minister, your parliamentary representative is doing well. And I want to give the prime minister a round of applause. But I cannot sing this song by myself, and it should not be just Jeremiah and the other parliament. Like an orchestrated choir, proudly we should be singing and celebrating the successes of this government. This is a government which has shown that it cares about the children of St. Lucia. The government that introduced the one laptop per child program, we reintroduced it when we came into office. We have given more scholarships to students in our 2 years than the previous administration did during 6 years. We have paid facility fees for all students in St. Lucia. Not some, all students in St. Lucia we have paid for. This month, during the August period, thousands of students benefited from the back to school program. And we recently went to the parliament to borrow monies to fix some of the schools that got damaged on the bridge. And these are clear examples. These are very clear examples of a caring government, and a government which continues to put the people first. This is a government which has provided the most social relief and support to the people of St. Lucia. And there is no doubt about it. There is no two ways about it. 3 times a year, we have a short-term employment program. 3 fois par année, nous avons step. Et nous avons employé combien 1000 personnes. Combien 1000 personnes nous avons employé? 3 times a year. We do it for Easter, we do it back to school, and we do it for Christmas. And we employ thousands of St. Lucians. This is a government that continues to provide food vouchers. So les gens qui ont about puissance monter, so ça dit so ça défense like ça même gouvernement est d'accord. Nous pas contrôle la puissance avec ça. But we've taken steps. We give you food vouchers to be able to help complement or to help deal with the issues of inflation. This is the same government that have taken steps to ensure that if you earn below $25,000 that you don't pay tax. We recently removed the VAT on plywood, on lumber, on cement, thereby making building a home more affordable for you, the people of Castries, is for the people of St. Lucia. This is the same government that made it its duty to make sure that anybody who gets a check or has a loan contract for $10,000 and below and goes to the treasury gets their full $10,000. And these are things that we have to celebrate. These are things that we have to go and beat our chests about. Now, all the policies and the measures that I've spoken about, which your government has taken to make things better for you, it means absolutely nothing if at the end of the day, you, the people of Castries, is you, the soldiers of labor, you do not take the responsibility and play your part. And this has been, if we're honest, this has been lacking from our supporters at times. Your government goes all out for you. And sometimes, if not most of the times, we Labour Party supporters are the first to criticize the policies of our government. First to give the government challenge. Nous ne pouvons pas même passer sur la chasse pour nos paroles. Nous même qu'à commencer par parti nos paroles. And then we ask ourselves, how we find ourselves in opposition. But I want to tell you tonight that I'm here to ensure that we don't ask ourselves why, and that we don't find ourselves in opposition at the next election. And the way we are going to achieve that is by starting today. Today I want to encourage you to promote the policies and the initiatives of your government. I want to encourage you to openly and publicly express confidence in your leader and in your prime minister. I want to encourage you to start defending your party and the policies of your party. And that is what we say, but that is what we mean when we say that we have to protect the victory. We have to start, and we must not be afraid to expose Chastney for what he is. And today we have to ensure that we start preparing for the next general elections. We cannot wait for when elections are called for us to mobilize or to try to get our soldiers together. That will not work, Mr. Jesus Apaka vibe. We must start building the vibe. We must start creating the type of synergy that we want to see. I keep saying we, because it must be a collaborative effort. We have to move onward together. The government is already doing their part by putting you first. But you too, I want to tell you that you too have a part to play. And now I know some people might be thinking or saying to themselves, I need some strength to be able to rally the troops. And they say I need a little contract. And this has become very commonplace in our environment today. Tout le monde veut un petit contract, you use un petit force, un petit why. Some people even threaten us and tell us, you're pas supporting no lot election because we're going to contract you. Some of our supporters come and openly say, I'm not supporting you because I don't get a contract yet. And I agree. Really need a little break every now and then. But do you really think that the government can give every Tom, Dick and Harry that come knocking on the door a contract? Do you really believe that this is possible? Do you want your government to be labeled as corrupt or reckless? Do you want Philip J. Pierre to take decisions and tomorrow for fingers to be pointed on him and for him to be known as, or for somebody to call him corrupt? I'm sure the people of Castries East will never ever want Philip J. Pierre, Honorable Philip J. Pierre, to be classed as corrupt. And as hard as things are, I'm sure several people from Castries East benefited from a national housing assistance program. I'm sure several people from Castries East were recipients of scholarships and vouchers. Then we have some people from Castries East who, despite all what the Prime Minister is doing to ensure that he puts them first, they sing one song. I'm not seeing the Prime Minister. They usually to the Prime Minister, I'm not seeing him again. And I'm not making any excuses for the political leader and the Prime Minister. But I'm certain, and I say that with no fear, that if he had to be at every funeral, if he had to be on every block, we would not have experienced a primary surplus in this year's budget. I guarantee you that. If he had to be in the constituency office every week, then we would not have been able to access the funding from the Saudis for the St. Jude's Hospital. So yes, the Prime Minister must be with the people of Castries East and he must take care of them. But we cannot forget that he also has to be with the people of St. Lucia. And that's why everyone is minister this, minister that, minister this, and he has a prime before his name. So we have to be reasonable in our expectations. And I'm sure that most constituencies, if not all, are willing to allow the Prime Minister to go on the block to attend all funerals and for them to put the Prime in front of their parliamentary rep's name. So for that, you should be grateful that the Prime Minister is from Castries East. And you should do everything that you can to ensure that the Prime Minister, but you have to do what is necessary to ensure that he stays. You have a man who took an economy which was in shambles and he turned the situation around despite the external factors not favoring him. And you never saw him complaining, you never saw him crying. And all of us should be boasting, we should be beaming with pride. We should be knocking our chests when we hear the name Philip Joseph Pierre. We have to move onward together with our Prime Minister and leader. And we have to do this now so that we can secure the future of St. Lucia. The mission that we have embarked on as your government is not a one-term mission. And we need time to get St. Lucia to where it should be. We inherited a broken economy. We all know what Chastney and his team did. We all know what they did. I don't have to come here and tell you. Tout le monde sait ça Chastney fait. Tout le monde sait ça nous joindre nous tuer. And despite being able to restore some level of confidence in our economy, we are not yet out of the woods. It will take time and it will take effort to get St. Lucia to where we want to go. But as parliamentarians, as Prime Minister, we only have control of the effort. The time is determined by you. And we need you to do your part to ensure that we get that time, because we cannot allow Shastri and his team to destroy the progress which we have made as a party and as a government. We will continue to put you first. We will continue to put you first, as we have done during this term. But you have to support your government. You have to. And I want to wish the incoming executive well. And I want to tell you that it will not get easier. As a matter of fact, the fight has just begun. Expect resistance. Expect trials, expect confrontations, expect the fight to get to the next level. And we have seen people expressing interest. We've heard them started announcing candidates. People have started expressing interest in running against the Prime Minister. So much so they even start campaigning and trying to mobilize their troops. I want to tell you, do not take this for granted. Do not take what the opposition is doing lightly. We have to remain united in our efforts. We have to remain committed and dedicated to the cause, committed and dedicated to labor. We must make the fact that we are in government work for us. And we have to be relentless in our effort to retain the seats of government. None of you, anybody here who complains, I can still tell you that none of you are happy when we are in opposition. Despite all the grumblings you hear about contracts and all the other things, we all know, as Sister Patsy said, that St. Lucia is better with labor. In closing, I want to encourage you to reflect on what the past 2 years compared to the 6 years which preceded it. And I want you to ask yourself, which do you prefer? I want you to ask yourself, do you prefer a primary deficit or do you prefer a primary surplus? Ask yourself, do you prefer 200 plus scholarships in 2 years or do you prefer a handful over the course of 6 years? And then ask yourself, do you prefer a government which puts you first, or do you prefer one which puts their friends, their families, and foreigners first? And horses first. And then evaluate your own efforts and tell me if you have played your part to ensure that foreigners and friends are never, ever placed before you again. Evaluate your efforts and tell me if you have played your part to ensure that we can move onward together. And if you haven't, I encourage you to do so now. I encourage you to do so today. Always remember that St. Lucia is better with labor. And we have to make sure that St. Lucia stays. No need to wait that certainty waiting epi labor. Long live the people of Castries. Long live the people of St. Lucia. Long live Philip Joseph Pierre. Long live the St. Lucia Party. Thank you very much.
At this time, we just want to say a special thank you to Honorable Jeremiah Nowat for agreeing to be our guest speaker for the AGM. And as a token of our appreciation, we'd like to present you with this small gift. Okay, we'll ask that you please sit back and relax. We have some more entertainment for you. We now invite the traditional dancers of St. Lucia to grace us.
Cavaleiro Galo, quase um pedido.
introduction of the parliamentary representatives. Prime Minister.
Thank you. Good evening. Invited guests, members of the Castries East constituency group, I would like to present to you someone who needs no introduction. I will, however, make an introduction since it is good practice to do so. If you ask him, he will say that he is the son of a woman who was a devoted and loving school teacher and a man who was a hardworking and astute policeman. Regular people. He will tell you that they taught him to be humble and honest while giving his best in serving people and his country. These values, he insists, are at the very heart of a sterling career as an economist and management consultant and as a politician who has contested 7 elections in this Castries East constituency and won 6, losing only as a debutant to a then very popular incumbent who he defeated on the 2nd attempt. He is the Member of Parliament for Castries East. He is the former Minister of Tourism, Civil Aviation, International Financial Services, Commerce, Consumer Affairs, Infrastructure, Port Services, and Transport. He is the leader of the most enduring political party in St. Lucia. He is the one who led the largest public demonstration and protest march ever held in St. Lucia against the corrupt and oppressive Ladies and gentlemen, the servant leader whom I will present to you is the one who has achieved the most by any St. Lucian Prime Minister in a maiden term, even though he is yet to still have the term he was elected for. Let me remind you that in less than half the current 5-year term, he has launched the Youth Economy Agency and provided financial support by way of grants to about 20 young St. Lucians, totaling over $750,000. Recommissioned the Jazz Festival and brought back the opening to March. Given meaning to Emancipation Day and prominence to our indigenous cultural festivals. Allocated $10 million for a loan grant facility for micro, small, and medium business owners, and several awards has been made. Remove COVID-19 health restrictions for our society to return to normalcy. Relaunch Universal Child Health Care Program. Pursue hospital. Launch a golden 80+ medical package. Expanded the public assistance program and allocated $7 million to the home care program to ensure the most vulnerable elderly among us get the care they need. Started a housing repair program to improve conditions for our elderly citizens and persons with disability. Exempted up to 15,000 workers earning up to $25,000 from paying any income tax. Brought relief to pensioners in St. Lucia by approving a monthly increase of 4% for NIC pensioners, while government pensioners received a one-off payment of $500 each. Increased teaching material allowance for teachers. Approved rebate on vehicles purchased by customs and correctional officers on gasoline purchased by registered fishers. Extended a tax amnesty program for businesses and individuals. Banned withholding tax on contracts 10,000 and below. Paid tax refunds to almost 4,000 taxpayers, amounting to almost $9 million. Negotiated the construction of dozens of new hotel rooms. Strengthened and enacted laws to combat the increase in gun-related criminality. Repaired and started the construction of police divisional headquarters in Beaufort and Rose Island. Settled long-standing severance payments, claims for Liat 1974 Limited and Majestic Industry employees amounting to more than $6 million in bonds and cash. Pursued vigorously the One University Graduate per Household Vision with increasing number of scholarships. Continue to subsidize the 20 and 22 pound cylinders of cooking gas. Subsidize the cost of flour to bakers by $16 per bag and $35.91 to the general public. Entered into a memorandum of understanding with Global Ports Holding to redevelop and upgrade the cruise facilities at Port Castries and Soufrière, including extending the existing berth in Point Seraphine, redeveloping the vendors arcade, designing and developing a new fishermen's village at Balance Bay, and developing a new amphitheater and food and beverage area at Point Seraphine. Recommends the Urinary International Airport Redevelopment Project with work on the construction of a state-of-the-art air control tower. Also decriminalize marijuana. I could go on and on, but I think the point is made. And these are not smoke and mirrors, it's real. The person responsible for all this is none other than your fellow countryman, the parliamentary representative for Castries East, political leader of the St. Lucia Labour Party and Prime Minister of St. Lucia, the Honorable Philip Joseph Pierre. He will appraise you of his accomplishments thus far in the constituency and what is in store for the people of Castries East. Brothers and sisters, I now present Honorable Philip J. Pierre.
Thank you very much. Let me first of all say to my colleagues, I was not the one who wrote that. I was not the one who planned anything in here. And all the achievements that the gains was because of the help and the assistance of the brothers and sisters out there. So give them a round of applause. Let me also pay special mention to a gentleman that I had a lot of respect for because of his achievements in academia. But when he joined the St. Lucia Labour Party, my respect and my love and my understanding and my deepest respect and honor for this gentleman. I want you to give Dr. Von Lewis a round of applause. And his wife, Lady Shirley. It's seldom you find a man of such academic excellence to be that humble. And I remember Von and I were on different sides of the political spectrum. We had our normal banter, political banter, nothing as vicious as what's happening now. But one day there was a meeting in Bocage at a fellow called Poyot. He had a dance hall in there. And we had a meeting. It was because during those times the constituency was zoned, and I was in charge of a zone. And when I walked in the hall, I saw Von Lewis sitting there. And I said to myself, well, what can I tell Von Lewis? Because I had read at university his writings, he had been quoted. In my own writings, I had to quote Von Lewis, and I'm still sitting in a hall, I have to talk to Von Lewis about something. So I said to myself, what can I tell Von Lewis? What could I possibly tell Von Lewis? And Von sat there and he listened and he took part. The essence of humility and dignity. Dr. Lewis, welcome.
Also, I want to thank the colleagues in the cabinet, the colleagues in the government, the colleagues in the St. Lucia Labour Party. It was not always easy. There were doubts, and there was reason to, all the time I asked myself, why were there reasons to be doubts? But there were doubts. They were whether we can make it. And sometimes we thought that we would have never reached the promised land. But in spite of some of the doubts, in spite of some of the moments of lack of belief, and as I always say to everybody, I cannot read anybody's heart, and I'm not trying. But these men and women stood with me, they stood with the party, and joined by Richard Frederick and Stevenson King, we reached the promised land, and now we are the government of St. Lucia, a government of the St. Lucia Labour Party. And I want to thank them for that. I want to really thank them for that, because it's a team sport. I could never make it if they were not with me. And I have no issue, sometimes when people have doubt, I have no issues. I have no issues with criticism, absolutely no issues. What I have issues with is when people who know better, who should understand the struggle of the people of St. Lucia and the struggle of the Labour Party, because of selfishness and individualism, veer away from the path. This is all I have issues with. But it's not a perfect world, and I must say, the support that this government has had over the last 2 years, I'm very pleased with it. I want to thank also the members of the Castries East constituency group. There are people in this hall who started in 1992. There are people in this hall who started in 1992. There are people in this hall who were called Chien Pierre. There are people in this hall who were told Pierre can never be stressed on the road, never win a seat. And when we won the seat, they never increased. Never become prime minister. And when we had to run against the big and mighty fellow on the other side, that's impossible. Impossible. You can never beat Alan Shasley. Why? I have not understood why up to this moment. But together, collectively and individually, we beat him, and we are going to beat him again. And that is the mission that you have from tonight. The mission from tonight is to ensure, I have no point about it, and I know I will be vilified, that the United Workers' Party under Alan Shasley never becomes the government solution. Never. And I make no bones about it. We cannot take St. Lucia back to where it was. And they pretend as if they were never in government. Crime just started. Unemployment just started. Everything just started. But brothers and sisters, we have to keep our eye on the prize. And again, I make no bones about it. We have to defend the victory. Because that victory is for the people of St. Lucia. That victory is for the young men and women from Mondidor, from Bagatelle, from Arundel Hill, from Toulouse, who will be able to go to university because of the policy of one university graduate household. That struggle is for the children whose parents who can't afford to pay CXC fees for their children. This government, we have paid for English and Maths, and before the term is over, we are going to be paying for at least 5 CSC subjects for the children of the future. That struggle is for the parents who cannot pay facility fees, who could not pay facility fees. That struggle, that victory, protecting that victory is for them, because we paid the facility fees and we are going to continue to pay facility fees for the children of St. Lucia. Protecting that victory is for the thousands of people, thousands of you who got educational assistance in this tour. Thousands of St. Lucians got educational assistance, and sometimes some people say it wasn't enough, but half a loaf is better than no bread. Thousands of us, thousands of citizens of St. Lucia got educational assistance for the children in going to school for the students. Protecting that victory is for the workers of St. Lucia, who very shortly will have a livable minimum wage for themselves to feed their children. That is what protecting that victory is about. That's what protecting that victory is about. That we are going to unleash on the public of St. Lucia very shortly. That is what protecting the victory is about. So I make no excuses for saying that we have to protect the victory. No excuses. But I tell you something. The criticism has just begun. Because you know what? They never thought we would be where we are today. They never believed that this country's economy would have been where it is today. They never believed that unemployment would be at the lowest level for a long time in St. Lucia. They never believed that. They never believed that civil servants would get their back pay. They never believed that civil servants' salaries would have been paid beforehand sometimes. They never understood that we would increase the material allowance for the teachers of this country. They never knew we would do that. So you know what they have resorted to? Flambeau say, living in Obia, Gaji. That is what they have resorted to. Obia, Gaji. Finally, they take communion in church and they are going again. That is what they have. That is where they are reached. And I tell you something. They are going to reach lower. They are going to get lower. The nastiness will increase. Because as Michelle Obama said, when they go low, we go high. And what this party will do, we are going to show them by performance. We are going to show them that we will complete St. Jude Hospital. I want to share a moment because today is the anniversary of the hospital building, the fire hospital, so we have to share forth for the people who lost their lives. But the only way these people's lives, day comes and we go to St. Jude and we open the St. Jude Hospital for the people of St. Lucia. That is the day. That is the day. And that day soon comes. That day soon comes. Because you know what? You know what? They never thought that we could go to the government of Saudi Arabia for the first time in St. Lucia's history. And the government has the confidence in the government and people of St. Lucia and give us a loan to complete St. Jude Hospital and to complete the stadium for the young people of St. Lucia. And when some people say, what the government has done for me, this government is doing things for us. The government is doing things for us. So if you haven't got a job that you thought you wanted to get, or if you haven't got a contract that you thought you should have got, or even though you think you deserve something that you have not got it, patience. Because we cannot get involved in the corruption that happened in the last government. That is what you voted against. You voted against corruption. You voted against nepotism. You voted against people putting people in position who are not qualified for that position. That's what we voted against. So we're not going back. And no one, when this government gets out of government, I never wanted to be said that Philip J. Pierre led a government of corruption. Because that is all we have. Our good name as a country and as a people. And the only reason why we can attract so much investment in this country because of the good name of the government of the Solution Party. So my sisters and my brothers, do not believe that we are in government to do what the UNDP did. That's not what we are in government for. That is not what labor is about. Labor is not about corruption. Labor is not about seeing about your family and your friends first. And not think I don't get criticized by people close to me. I get criticized. These men and women get criticized also. I work hard. What you give me? I work so hard. I get nothing. I work so hard. I see these people who never do nothing. Get something. My sisters, my brothers. Everybody will get something. Everybody will get something. But everybody will get something based on merits. Everybody gets something based on the fact that we are government of the people and for the people. And why do you think that these men and women would ever want not to do things for people of the Labour Party? But we cannot do like the United Workers' Party. And when people tell me United Workers' Party see about their own, put you up in election. Why did we beat them 32? If they did all the good things, if tout flamboyant job, tout flamboyant contract, tout flamboyant to buy, pour qui flamboyant election? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that question. If you say flamboyant did everything, why did they lose the election? Because that is not what the people of St. Lucia want. The people of St. Lucia want good governance. The people of St. Lucia want honesty in government. The people of St. Lucia want meritocracy in government. And once I'm Prime Minister, I will do all I can do for the people of this country. Because, as I've always said, I won 6 elections because of the people of Castries East. And I'm grateful for that. I could not do it alone. I didn't win by myself. I want the help of people as I told you who have been in this business with me from now. And they've grown to be men and women who can support me and help me in this cause. So my love is for them. Me involved in hanky-panky or corruption. Sorry. I cannot. I will not. And I should not. Because we have to be a people of integrity. We have to be a people who, when the history books is written, they can say that this Labour Party was never involved in any deed of corruption or malfeasance. That is what. And I'll tell you something. Do not relax. I heard some of you say that our adversaries are dead. They are not dead. They are not dead. In politics, you must never take your opposition for granted. That is the cardinal error. You see, no matter how they lie, you won't believe a guy goes on a platform and he says he got a cable from Joseph Biden. You won't believe that. You want to really believe that? That a man can go on a platform and he said he got a cable, he reached everything, Joseph Biden the right thing.
I got it from flow.
I mean, you really believe that? But that is where these guys are going to go. And if you think they're going to learn now, just wait. You are going to hear some of the most outrageous things about the Labour Party and about the Humble Servant. The most outrageous things. You're going to hear the most outrageous things about the men and women in the cabinet and the supporters of the St. Labour Party. You're going to hear the most outrageous things. And they're going to say it with a kind of finesse. They're going to say it with an accent. They're going to say it in a way that if you don't catch yourself, you say, basically, I do that for you. Because I heard, I do not do Facebook. I have a Facebook page. It's more than them doing this thing for me. I do a Facebook page. I don't do social media. I use my computer to work. I don't know this nature. But sometimes some people call me and say to me, they read this on social media or they see that. I say, it's me that did that, me. Really me. Yes, but that has just started. Because the United Workers' Party, they have not understood that they have lost elections and the people of St. Lucia have rejected them. They've not understood that. And the fundamental law in politics is you must understand when you are down and you must wheel and come back again. That is what we did. We came back again. And we have to come back again. Because the next election is more important than the election we won in 2021. That election is more important. Because you know, the last election we won, they will say, is a fluke to make. A fluke to make. But this election, and we will not just sit down and say we win election. So you must be careful with what you say. Because some of our supporters, they speak out of turn. Because possibly I didn't answer my phone. Comrades, if you can answer every phone call I get. Do you see? I can answer every WhatsApp I get. I want to. I try, but I can't. I would love to answer every phone call. I try my best to answer every phone call. But not because you call me and you don't get me. You say, Marvel, I can't call. If I don't call, if I don't phone me. And that's what we do for all of the brothers and sisters there. If you call them, you get Marvel, I shall call. Marvel, I comrades. When you say that, think about your children. When you say that, think about when you think that and you say, think about the future of your country. It is always better to be in government than to be out of government. It is always, and I say it again, it is always better to be in government than be out of government. And don't believe that the United Workers' Party ways of victimization and vindictiveness, don't believe that will end if they ever get into government. They are going to get worse. They are going to get worse. So don't believe you can come in between and say, me. United Workers' Party, they do not forgive. They do not forgive you. They will never forgive you. And you hear what Alan Chastney is already saying, already attacking the media, already telling people what radio station will listen, what they should listen to, or what they should not listen to. You heard the anger and the vitriol in this guy's face. You heard the hatred he has for the people of St. Lucia, the contempt that he has for you because you voted against him. If these people ever get back in government in St. Lucia again. That fini. That must not happen. And you must work hard with us for it not to happen. You must work with us for it not to happen. And when I hear people like Jeremiah Noble, I know that the party is in good hands. Because the Labour Party is like a river. The Labour Party is like a river, like a stream. It flows. And my time will come. Nobody will have to remind me when my time comes. No one will have to remind me when my time comes. When my time comes, I will gracefully bow for someone else. No one will have to remind me. I will never be an impediment to the St. Lucia Labour Party. Never. I can tell you that in no uncertain terms. I will know when my time will come. And you will tell me when my time will come. But I want to tell you that in this team of men and women in the St. Lucia Labour Party, I am very pleased and I'm very proud. And I tell you what, when we are going to be taken off and say what we have done and what we have not done, you will see that this Labour Party has achieved more in our first 2 years than the United Party achieved for their whole 5.5 years in power. And when you call them, they say that they had vision. Vision is a thing you need glasses for. They had vision. Somebody told me that they were saying to somebody, why do you think Castries should be Prime Minister again? He said, because he has vision. Vision for 21 islands at Maria Island. That's what vision about. Vision for taking 1,000 acres of land in Beaufort and sell it at 99 cents per acre. Listen, that's what vision is about. Vision is about taking your hospital and causing us to pay $11 million for a foreign firm to run a hospital that St. Lucians can run and St. Lucians have run. That is vision. Vision is giving us an economy with a deficit of $238 million on the primary account. That is vision. That is vision. Vision for saying that colonialism had a conscience. That is vision for saying that your patrimony is in your credit card. You call that vision? Vision for saying the truth is what you want it to be. That is vision. Vision for calling you backing dogs and Americans. That's vision. You call that vision? Vision for having a man come on the platform and say, now get rid back home, man. If any of these men and women, ever say that, in fact they know they must not say that. You call that vision? And my sisters and my brothers, when Richard Frederick and Stevenson King, when I invited them to join my cabinet, you all sorts of things, all kind of things. But both Richard Frederick and Stevenson King are sitting members of the cabinet of the St. Lucia Labour Party, and I am well pleased with both of them. And this government is united, this government is purposeful, and this government will continue to put the people of St. Lucia first. We have not even spoken about what we've done with the economy of this country. We haven't spoken about the youth economy. We haven't spoken about the poverty reduction initiatives that we have had in St. Lucia in the last 2 years. We haven't spoken about the social interventions we have had to try to curb crime. I'm talking about crime, my sisters and my brothers. The United Labour Party want to glorify crime. You heard how they attacked the woman commissioner of police? You heard how they attacked the acting commissioner of police? You heard how they attacked him? You heard how they attacked the present commissioner of police? You heard how they attacked them? You want to fight crime, and the way you're doing it is to begin to attack the people who are responsible for. And the biggest thing of them all, the late Sir John George Melvin Compton. I was not on his side. I never supported, I was not on his side. But Sir John Compton was a man that even though you don't like him, you have to respect him. And you heard what one of them said? In my mind. Brothers and sisters, the Minister of Agriculture. On the anniversary of the commemoration of Sir John's death, you heard what one of them said? In my mind, I think Alan Chastney is a way better Prime Minister than John. You see the hypocrisy of these guys. You see the hypocrisy of these people. You glorify, you say that John Compton was the best thing, but one of your people say, in my mind, in my opinion, Alicia said was a way better Prime Minister John Compton. And you never, you know what? And you know what? And the leader of the party and all the surrogates will never get up and say they disassociate themselves from that statement. If any man or woman on my party ever say that about George Charles, they must publicly apologize. If they ever say that about George Charles, if anybody ever says that I was a better Prime Minister than George Charles, they have to apologize. Because George Charles was the founder of the St. Lucia Labour Party. George Charles was the one who gave workers in St. Lucia the first ever act, the Contract of Services Act, to give laws under which you can employ the workers in St. Lucia. A man who I cannot walk in his feet. So, when you can say this thing about Sir John and compare him with a man, let's not go there. Right, let's move. Because you know, that is just no, Castries is. Comments. It is something that people study say that prime ministers never see about their constituencies. That has been said, and my colleagues in the region tell me the same thing. Because when you are prime minister, everybody looks on you. But if you look for yourself, they say, boy, you're prime minister getting everything. That is a usual thing in the entire Caribbean, not only St. Lucia, because they assume that when you are prime minister, the treasury belongs to you. Take a key, open it, click. Take out what you want, give that one, do this. Just like the logbox they had for the, the logbox for the fuel tax. These guys are real something else. These guys say they had a logbox for the fuel tax. When they ask him, where the logbox, he said he used money to build roads. There's a logbox. Where the logbox? You use money to buy roads. Where is the logbox? Anyhow. So some of us believe that the Prime Minister has a logbox. Open thing, go inside, take what you want. Not the case, my sisters, my brothers. Not the case. The Prime Minister has a responsibility for the other 16 constituencies and then his own constituency. That is the reality. That is the reality that Prime Ministers face. Because in the final analysis, the buck falls on you. The buck falls, with the help of the men and women, the buck falls on the shoulder of the Prime Minister. But we've started some more in Castries East that we are going to continue. I don't want to talk too fast, but there's going to be a major transformation in Castries East that's going to be visible for the eyes to see. It's going to be visible for the eyes to see. I will just stop here. Then I'm going to say it one more time. There's going to be a transformation in the constituency that's going to be visible for everyone to see. But in the meantime, we started on the sporting infrastructure. We started work on Minufile Park. But Minufile Park is not only for the residents of Castries East. Minufile Park is a national playing facility for the entire country. It is located in Castries East, but it's not for Castries East only. We've started work on the Minufile Park. We've done 2 stands. We are right now working on the road boy stand, and we're going to be upgrading the lights in the Minufile Park. That is started, that's going to end by the end of this year. Then we are going to come to Marshall Grounds. Now you know me. You know me. I tell you how it is, and if you vex, what I know I'm right, and I've spoken the truth, I really not happy to vex, but if you vex, you cannot afford to be destroying the facilities that are built for you and expect the government to build again. You cannot afford to be destroying the facilities that are built for you and want the government to build again. We spent $1 million on the Marshall Grounds. We did playing, we did changing rooms, we put in toilets, we refenced the entire place, we put lights in, we redid the field, and we were going to do the pavilion. They mashed it up. They destroyed it. I make no boast about it. There's no excuse for destroying facilities that the government has built. We redid the James Belgrave Court. We fenced it. We did changing rooms. We put a little pavilion kind of thing. They destroyed it again. We are going to do it again. But this time, the security forces will be told to arrest anybody caught in vandalizing the facilities put by the government of St. Lucia for the people of St. Lucia. And I make absolutely no apologies for that. We are going to be redoing the Marshall Grounds. We're going to be redoing the James. Don, who's coming? We are going to be redoing the Marshall Grounds. We are going to be redoing the pavilion in there. We are going to be redoing the changing rooms and the James Belgrave Court. We're going to be starting early in the new year. Hopefully we can finish by August or so next year. But anybody who is caught destroying it, no matter who you are, you can have a red shirt with Philip Jeffrey on both sides. If you are caught destroying it, you will have to face the brunt of the law. Because that's not built with my money. It's built either from the money of friendly governments, the taxpayers of friendly countries, or from the taxes of the people of St. Lucia. So you cannot destroy it. We are going to be putting a new children's park in Bocage for the children of Bocage. We have redone work on the Enchipo HRDC. We have refenced it, we have done the surfacing, and we put lights in there. The next stage is working on the children's park. So the adjacent children's park, we are going to be doing some work on the children's park. Then we are going to start work on the minor roads in the constituency. The major roads, from tomorrow, there will be some potholing on the Bagatelle Road. There were some major holes in the Pavey Road. We've done some potholing there. But the minor roads, they are horrible. In Bocage, in La Puce-Low, terrible roads, the minor roads going into people's homes. We are going to see if we can do some work. If I have CDP, I say sure. With my CDP, these guys don't give me CDP. With my CDP, I will start to do some work on the minor roads in the constituency. In Bagatelle, the issue of land ownership has to be resolved. It's not easy, but it has to be resolved. We have to resolve the issue of land ownership in Bagatelle. We have to do it. There are plans for the Rockall area, but again, I'm not dancing to any tune before I hear the music. So when the music playing, I'll come and tell you. But I will dance when the music starts to play. But I dancing before. Hopefully, we're going to have some major plans for the Rockall area, but let's wait and see. But their plans are afoot for that area. But most importantly, we have to deal with the human development of the people of Castries East. I hate to hear that they're from the ghetto. That irritates me, burns my soul. When I hear people say, from the ghetto, them people, them places, I want to leave them places. And when we brought back jazz in Castries East, that was the biggest and one of the best shows ever in the jazz festival in St. Lucia. And there was absolutely no violence or no problem. And I want to thank Leo Clark for his work in making it happen. And next year, once there is jazz, we open jazz in Marshall. Because, you know, when people criticize and say, I remember, the same people who want you to vote for them, the same people who want you to vote for them, when we started jazz in Marshall, when they came to government, they cut it off. But you want to vote for them. Aaron Shastley told you that Marshall is only good for demonstration. So when you want to demonstrate in Bagatelle, you forget what you get. He told you that Marshall was only good for demonstrations. You know, the problem with these guys, they don't understand in politics. You must be careful with what you say. So you see, when you hear them attacking me, none of them can say what I said. None of them can pull a tape and say what I said and criticize me in a genuine way, or criticize me in a truthful way on what I said. They criticize me on innuendo. What the J in Philip JP and name stand for? What the P in Philip JP and name stand for? All kind of things. But anything I say, I can't say nothing. I must sit back. I must sit back and you must lie about me from now till tomorrow. I must sit back and allow you to define my family, my daughter, and I must say nothing. Anything I say, first thing you hear, radio, big story. But I will defend the honor of the St. Lucia Labour Party at all times. I will defend that honor because I'm proud. I'm proud to be the party of George Charles, of Alan Louisi, of Kenny Anthony. That's a rich tradition that I have to follow. I have to follow. And I have to follow with integrity, with pride, and with honor. Because that is what George Charles would have wanted for the people of St. Lucia. And that is what I have to follow. So my sisters and my brother, I want to thank you. I want to thank everyone. I want to say it again. Everybody has not got what they want. Everybody has not got the job they want. Everybody has not got what they think they should get. But I'll tell you one thing. Everybody will benefit from the work of. And look at how they ridicule us. They say, we're the Minister of Health. I want to recognize really the ministers in this room today. The Minister of Health, the Minister of Education, the Minister of Housing, the Minister of Gender Relations and Home Affairs, the Minister of Agriculture, my advisor, my press secretary, soon to be, she get promotion, she leave me there. Yes, she got promotion, she left me. Yes, sir. I said she had Home Affairs. You didn't hear that? You didn't know she had Home Affairs. And the senators who support us in this parliament. Senator Jean, when you hear Senator Jean in the Senate, I wonder one day where he get her from. And the president and somebody that we always joke, he has a constituency called Fulasho North. He's a parliament, he's the endorsed candidate for Fulasho North. The Attorney General. The Honorable AG. The Attorney General. He is the endorsed candidate for Fulasho North. And all the men and women, if I say anything about the speaker, they say I say he used a bazooka. So I have to recognize the speaker and the men and women in this room, Karen and Francis and the guest speaker, and all the men and women in this room who have worked with me to put me where I am today. I want to thank them. But this journey has just begun. Leo Clark, this journey has just begun. And it's not going to be smooth. Sometimes we argue. Sometimes they will say, man, make players. Sometimes they probably may say that sometimes. That's human nature. That's how people are. Even though, like when Manchester United loses, something they say. And the Arsenal fellas in my parliament, in my cabinet, I will deduct from the CDP. I will deduct from the CDP anytime Arsenal win a match. I'll deduct from the CDP. So I want to thank the executive of the party, National Council. It has been a journey of love, a journey that they can't understand. They can't understand how this party and this government has progressed. People like Miss Linda. Miss Linda is more than a lioness. And sometimes you say these things with a kind of fullness in your heart. Because these people request nothing. Their love is for the St. Lucia Labour Party and the people of St. Lucia. Lillian, you understand? Lillian has been in this struggle with Elijah Griffith Village. You know what I call Elijah Village? God bless me. She was in that struggle with him. And I took over from Elijah Village. And they laughed at us. Constituency group meeting, 3 of us and 2 dogs. That's reality. 3 of us and 2 dogs. We sat with it. There was Paul, there was Marcia. My partner, a good partner. And the good thing with Junior is he's always happy. With authority. I've never seen a guy who is always happy. One day, when in the first year I became Prime Minister, Junior came to my office and he sat by the door and he said, where I'm the Prime Minister office. And Hart and all these guys, I love all of you. Let us, if I didn't mention, can't mention everybody. Let us continue. This work has just begun for ourselves, for our children. Thank you very much.
Thank you. To do the vote of thanks, we call on Brother Nikolai Lansigo.
Good evening, brothers and sisters. Good evening. We have come to the end. Good evening. We have come to the end of the ceremony, and I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time from it. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time from your Saturday to celebrate here with us in Castries East. Special thank you to the residents, the people of Castries East. Give yourselves a round of applause. Our comrades from the National Executive, Cabinet Ministers, give yourselves a round of applause. Our featured speaker, Jeremiah Norbert. Round of applause for our speaker, please. And I want to wish the new and incoming executive under the stewardship of Mr. Regis. Round of applause for Mr. Regis as well. Success in their endeavors. Thank you, comrades. Do not leave. We need to sing the party song. So please stand. Okay, and stay sitting will be served after. So we should serve refreshment will be served after. Alright? So the party song. On three. On three. Sister, would you like to just display the party song? Let's go. After three. 1, 2, 3. The people's flag. And everything is different goal. Yeah, I'm just hiding every soul. Then there's a star that's under high. With the spirit in the sky. No coward thing transmit the sand. We'll make the red flag right there. The grace of Allah in the night. When all the heads sing dark night. He will just stand and he just gone. We must not change it, start it now. There is a star that's started high. We will be shaped, we will die. No cowards in trying to stand. We'll keep the red flags flying there. Every cause that's right as far. Give the hope of peace and life. The banner bright in my day. All human rights and human gain. Then raise the sun and stand high. We live in shade, we live and die. No cowards being transferred to stand. We'll keep the red flag flying there. The rest was not let's carry on. We'll carry on, till we fall. London just start.